What did you say, Joe?
Yeah. Exactly. My phone on airplane mode. And we are live. Good evening, chaps. How are we?
Yeah, all good.
Rocking and rolling.
Such a professional outfit, us. We've been sitting here waiting for the audience for a good 20 minutes, haven't we?
I thought I weren't going to make it at one point.
What we do for the fans, isn't it? It's what we do.
Kelly's been munching his dinner. Joe had a gas leak. Pete was actually casual. I was sitting there with a cup of tea. But yeah. I think Kieran sorted that for you, didn't he, Pete?
Who?
Your son, Kieran?
Oh, Kieran, yeah. Oh, well, I'm panicking. I know it's quite easy for you lot, but I'm not, computer illiterate, if you might say.
Well, we claim it's easy, but I've not been to work today, so I've had all day. And literally, last knockings, I'm running around like a lunatic trying to get it done. But look, this is only the second Den debate of the season, and I completely hold my hands up. I raised them in the air, said that I'm sorry. That's down to me because I just can't always get these over the line. But we've done one earlier in the season, and now at this point, we're going to take a look at the season so far, boys. We're going to look through, instead of looking at individual games, we're going to go more along the lines of our league position, our home form as well, how we think we're faring. What did we expect to be where we are at this position? What do we expect going forward? And on top of that, we're going to look through all the signings. Then there was a bit of a meltdown in the week on some of my comments on Casper the North. I don't know if you saw them.
Yeah.
But, I don't know sometimes why I bother saying stuff because I try to explain it again a second time and people going, can't believe you think Casper the North shit. No, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I know where you was coming from, so when we get to it later, I've got
yeah, exactly that. Right, but first things first, we're going to start with our current league position. There it is. We have. Oh, you can't see us at the bottom because the fucking ticket's on. Hang on.
What?
We've been relegated.
We're down. Oh, I've got the wrong league table. Right, there we go. 11 games, 4 wins, 4 losses, and 3 draws. Leaves us sitting on 15 points, only 3 points off the playoffs. And then if you flip it onto the bottom half of the table, there you have it. Sitting at the same similar positions to the likes of Middlesbrough and Blackburn, 2 sides that were pretty much up there last season. But we're healthy, in my opinion, 7 points away from the relegation zone already with, in my opinion, QPR, Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday especially already looking doomed. But it is a long old season. But look, that's for later. I always say this, it's a Mill existence, in my opinion, in the Championship. We've won, pretty much 4-4-4, and I've drawn 3. 1-4, lost 4, drawn 3. Is that pretty much what we was expecting at this point of the season? I don't mind who goes first.
I'd say so.
Go on, Joe.
Probably where I expect us to be at this stage of the season. We've had our ups and downs. Well, not many ups, but a lot of downs already. But in my opinion, I think we've always been slow starters. We're always around this sort of position at this stage of the season every year.
Yeah.
And I think we always push on that second half of the season. So, as expected for me.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I keep saying this, as a neutral looking in, for a neutral looking in, they would go, well, that's just all right. What's everyone's issues? With what's currently happening at Mill Football Club? Ken, you can talk through some of the issues, I'm sure. And is this pretty much what you was expecting the team to be at this point?
Yeah, I mean, the table wouldn't surprise you. If anything, I'm quite surprised we're higher than what we are. But if you said 11 games in, you'd be sat 15th. You'd probably say, like you say, typical Mill existence. That is usually us. We don't usually start, like Joe said, we don't usually start that great.
No.
And you usually have a little bit of a kick on. So position-wise, I'd probably say, yeah, we're where. I think actually we have the same amount of points as what we did last season this time round.
Yeah, I think, did you see that on News at Den? I saw something on News at Den today.
Yeah.
And it does usually, Pete, doesn't it? As we are now, as Kenny and Joe said, we usually sort of kick on. It's usually a little victory at Leeds, and then we have like a mad January, didn't we? We go on like a big, from that point, go on a decent run. Is this what you expected us to be performing like Pete at this point of the season?
No, not really, Dan. I mean, when you actually analyse it and you look at it, most of our points have come away from home with a couple of wins, couple of draws, things like that. Better performances away from home. If we was only just got one more win at home, we'd have been in the mix, right in the mix of the playoffs. Do you know what I mean? All it taken was one more win at home. Look at the, we go. I know we'll touch it later, but I think 3 more points I'd have been happy with, like about 18 points. And I've just put that way down to the home form at the moment. But yeah, I'd expect it to be a little bit higher with the signings we made. Definitely a bit higher.
Bit higher up. Yeah, you said there, we'll cover it now because it's all relevant, about the home form that is the issue. And I think, our answers to any neutrals watching saying, look, what's your current issue with the team? They're doing all right. They're doing what you'd expect, is the home form, but obviously the heavy defeats at home. Can we put our finger on, or any opinions as to why this is happening? 3-0 at home to Leeds, 3-0 at home to Swansea, 4-0 at home to Reading in the Cup, 3 wins in the last 27 at the Den. Ken, we'll go back to you on this one.
I think it boils down usually to a formation. We usually play the same formation away as what we do when we're at home. And things change, don't they? So when you're playing at home and you're playing defensive, you expect teams to come onto you, and we try and break them down. And usually that's the way you nick goals. It's not, I wouldn't say that we've been overly dominant. If you look at the Plymouth game, Plymouth were very, very dominant, exciting going forward. We just defended really well and managed to score 2 goals. But at home, you're meant to be the Plymouth. And we don't do that. And I think, to be honest, we're incapable of doing that. Other than I didn't watch the whole game, so apparently we were quite good in large parts of the game. But I think that when people come to Millwall, we've always played on the front foot, not exciting football, not tick-a-tacker football, but we've always been in their face from the off and for 90 minutes. And we don't do that. We play the same defensive style. So now, actually, home and away, we have teams coming at us. And I think just if we concede a goal at home, it's hard. It's hard after that, because you have to, especially at the moment, you've got all the fans on your back. The players, like Rowett said, the players' confidence goes down. And after time, it's a nothing show after that.
Bang on.
Yeah. Joe, I'll come to you next. I'm just going to pick up on something Kelly said there. And I said that something similar to my mate on Saturday at the Den. I think because predominantly we've always done well at home, and you've got 14, 15, 16,000 seeing that every other weekend. And we wasn't so good away from home, for the 800 to 1,000, maybe slightly less that travel to away games. The majority of your fan base is seeing the good results and they're seeing what they want to see. But then that's now flipped. So for the people that go to Middlesbrough away or wherever we've been lately away, Birmingham, etc., not as many people have seen that. But obviously the 15 and 16,000 that are going to the Den, they're now seeing 4 or 3 wins in 27. So I think that's probably why there's a little bit more anger around it. What do you think?
Me.
Okay, John, sorry.
I actually pointed out something on Saturday. I said to a few people, I feel like the players seem to be more nervous playing at home. It's as if they're scared to commit, play with freedom and make a mistake, because as we see with Danny McNamara on Saturday, you make a mistake, the crowd are getting on your back, and then his confidence will be shot to bits now. I don't necessarily agree with all the abuse of getting on the players' back, because it's not going to help in any way. If anything, the Danny McNamara situation the other day, it's going to drop his confidence. And I just feel like I've seen better performances away, maybe because there's less fans there. The players feel less under pressure. They play with a bit more freedom. And I just feel like we're slightly nervous, scared to make mistakes at home. And I think that's what it could boil down to, because you look at it, if you actually look at the stats, all these big sellout games we've had over the past couple of seasons, we've not won one of them.
No, we get a big crowd.
It seems to lately, it never did. It should push on the players, but it seems to have a bit of a reverse effect. We got that good result against Rotherham at home in midweek against our lowest crowd of the season. So it seems the more people that are there, I don't know. I do think they just get nervous.
Pete?
Yeah, I think Joe's right what he's saying. I think with the crowd, when they turn, and you know, our crowd can turn. Listen, we're a great bunch of supporters, I know that. But when we turn on players, especially so early in the game, like what happened to Danny McNamara the other day, you know what I mean? I think it don't just have a negative effect on him, as a negative effect on the whole team. But they see one of their own getting slaughtered, and they're going like, then they're like Joe said, they're frightened to make it. They don't want to be the next target. And when we sort of pick someone out, boy, do we pick someone out, you know, and you know, they're like a pack of wolves sometimes when it goes starting on certain players, rightly or wrongly. Listen, he had a bad game, and I know, I don't know. I'm not one of them to turn on players. I've never have been, but I just think that is a big effect, as like Joe said. Big crowds there. Someone makes a mistake, and the crowd are on them. Everyone's standing up, abusing them. And then it's just everyone in the other team thinks like, I don't want to get involved in it. I don't want to make mistakes.
But then that's
take chances.
Yeah, and then the opposition that has a knock-on effect for them because they think, right, we can get this crowd to turn on them that easy.
Listen, we all know that geezer Saturday ripped Danny McNamara. And again, you've got to look sometimes the opposition. That guy was one of the best players I've seen. He'd rip anyone. He'd rip anyone in that division. And unfortunately, Paul McNamara, he got the brunt of that, and I just think it was unfair. Because like everyone who supports Mill knows, all we want is tries in the team. And he tries his hardest, you know. He's Millwall through and through. And, you know, when the crowd turn on him like that, I just think it's really sad.
I know what you're saying. I think the frustration, because exactly what you just said. I mean, against Plymouth, Duncan Whitmore kept going forward. He kept trying these, you know, spectacular through balls, and it wasn't coming off. But you know, I haven't got an issue with a player that shoots from 30 yards and it goes over the bar, or someone that tries to kill a ball and it doesn't come off. You know, players will make mistakes, but as long as they're trying their best and trying to make things happen. And I think with McNamara, I feel yes, he was getting abused. But I think it's more of a reaction to the frustration of the way that we've been playing at home under Rowett and the lack of excitement, the lack of intent. Yeah. I think that's more because of that's been aimed at the players through their frustration at Rowett. Do you know what I mean? Ken, you're nodding.
Yeah, I think that I think as a player, if I played under Gary Rowett and the way that he sets up, the way he tries to play, and you go a goal down at Millwall. As a player, I'd be sitting there going, so how are we meant to claw this back with the way that he wants us to play?
Which, mate, that's such a good point. It's written all over their faces. When we let it go, our heads drop for so long.
Yeah, you know, because, you know, game plan must be don't concede. You know, that's the first port of call. So don't concede. And then all of a sudden you concede and they must sit there sometimes and go, well, what do we do now? I know it's not that simple. They're professional footballers, and there should be plans A's, B's, C's, and D's. But the looks on their faces when you concede is almost like, well, we haven't succeeded at doing that. So now what?
Yeah, very good point. I don't know. It just seems. I mean, look. I'll be honest. The last few games, and we all know I'm not Rowett's biggest fan, but I can sympathise with him in the Swansea game. I can sympathise with him in the whole game. The Swansea game, we was on top. We was going for the jugular. Then we conceded a dodgy penalty. And then second half, we're getting back into the game. And Bartlett's in a howler. And then that's pretty much game over. Same with the whole game. I thought we started well. We scored. And then it's not really tactics, I don't think, that undone us. I think it was more individual errors. I do understand that Danny Mac was involved in both goals. But I think it's harsh to blame him completely for both goals. I think the back line was caught way too flat and way too advanced up the pitch for the first one. Yes, he did run off Danny Mac and Harding bollocks him. And then the second, and then like I said, our heads go down far too much for far too long. And then the second one is more McNamara's fault. But I still feel that Bart should have been a bit more central. He still probably wouldn't have got the end of Danny McNamara already towards the corner flag. And then we're 2-1 down. And then Rowett has to change it half time, chase the game. And we did that. That's more individual errors, I think, that's just costing us more than tactics. As of late, not going further back. But the last couple of games, I think.
I've only seen the highlights, so I've seen one bit of the Danny Mac header. But to me, it did genuinely look like Bart was completely out of position there.
I think this comes from the original ball over the top. I think he thinks he's going to make that.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the header went southwest or whatever, didn't it? That was right over by the corner flag near on.
Yeah. At the same time, you see with that Danny Mac, I was thinking when I see it in real time, I know it's a bad header, but I was thinking any other keeper would have had the speed to get back and recover that. Yeah. And I think Bart's just a bit too slow to get back and sort of recover that situation.
Listen, I've got his knee problem, right? And I know for a fact that I wouldn't have gone and chased after that either. So it's too much of a twist.
Especially not after what you had 10 minutes ago as well. There's no chance. But yeah, again, look, it's another point that I've made, and I think you all agree. I've said this a million times when outsiders look at him and go, "Give me a wall. What do you expect to win every game?" No, we don't. But I think it proves that point that we don't have to win every game. We expect 100% effort, and to see when the players are walking off the pitch, win, lose or draw, they've given their all. And I think that was reflected after the game on Saturday. A lot of people stayed, clapped, showed their appreciation, and was happy with the performance, despite the fact that we didn't win the game, Pete.
Yeah, 100%. You could see the tempo of the players. Like every one of them was trying their best, and we backed them up, and that's what we were. And I think you, Dan, might have said that if we lost the game 2-1, we would have still clapped them off the pitch, which we would have done, because such was the improvement in the second half. And this is like, this always gets me, like with our team, where they can't be consistent, can they? They can't put in a 90-minute performance. Like a game where I'll go back games a long time ago when we played Tranmere away, and we had 90% of that game, and we just keep going and going. But we just seem to only have about 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes of a game. Of like intensity or whatever we can do. We just can't keep going at teams. We'll either go in the first half or go in the second half, right? It was a much improved second half. And I just wish they could put that intent and effort into the first half as well. Even 20 minutes of the first half would be good.
Because it's not even if we go quiet and we lose our way slightly in that little spell in the first half, we completely fuck ourselves over with like monumental fucking mistakes, don't we?
Yeah, but
we had a quiet 20 minutes. We managed to concede 2 horrendous goals in that space of time.
And also, you've got to remember, we went 1-0 up in that game. We went 1-0 up. So
completely forgot about that.
Yeah, and we went the opposite way. We went 1-0 up. Oh, here we go. Now we're taking the lead. Well, look at this lead. We'll win this game, and then we also find ourselves to. If you look at most of our goals conceded, you'll see there's a lot of mistakes in there. Of all the goals.
What did you not think of Hull? I thought they. I know they're one of these new age sides that knock it around at the back, but I thought they knocked it around really well. I didn't think they got high risk, but I thought they executed it really well.
Listen, everyone's trying to play it sort of out the back these days, isn't they? But I've never seen us come up against a team that wants to play out the back that much. And they took so many risks with it. Fair play to them. They're pretty confident, and that's the style the manager wants to play. So, I thought it was pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, I wasn't disappointed at all. I see some comments online, people going, "What's fucking everyone celebrate?" There's a picture of Joe Bryan and Casper the Nor, like he was going to the fans like that sort of thing. And someone's like, "Why are they celebrating? We haven't won." Well, I don't know. There was that feel-good factor did definitely seem to return for me in the second half of that whole game. Pete's had enough.
He's just been trying to ring me.
I bet he's back. Well, he was on the laptop though, wasn't
he? He's on a computer. I don't know what's happened there. I think he's having
it wouldn't have I thought he might be on his phone and his battery died. There you go. Hard exit from Pete. Right, we're going to move on now. We're going to talk more about players. We're going to look at every single player we've got in so far, and we're going to have a little chat about them. And you boys can have your say, and people in the comments. I haven't got my glasses on, but I'll try and make that work. I can't see a thing without them, to be honest with you. But I'll put this in the WhatsApp group today. There are our signings for this season so far. Casper the North, Kevin Nisbet, Matty Jasakis, Joe Bryan, Wes Harding, and then 3 loanees, Alan Campbell, Ryan Longman, and Brooke Norton-Cuffy. Now, I'm not saying these fees are correct, but as a club, we know that the board, for whatever reason, I'm sure they've got their reasons, good reasons, they never tell us how much we paid for a player. We got told that Zian Fleming was our new record signing. But that would have made Kevin Nisbet our new record signing, closely followed by Casper the North for 2.5 million, which surprised me. But I have heard whispers that the North, was supposed to be our benchmark signing of this summer. Relatively unknown, I would say. I never knew a thing about him. Only ever played in the Belgium league. But how's he been performing, boys? This was a big fucking talking point in midweek for me. Fuck me, I wish I'd never brought it up. Casper the North. What are we thinking, Ken?
I think that there was a couple of games where he was really classy. And I think that there was a couple of games that he was completely non-existent. The non-existent games, I'd say, were probably when he just started. I think he's got better and better and better, probably over the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, completely agree with that.
I think he's a class act. I think there's loads more to come from him. And yeah, just the thing is though, is actually, when you look at his stats are not too dissimilar to Billy Mitchell. The only difference is that he's just a bit more forward thinking. He's got a better killer pass, and I would say he'd score more goals within the season.
Yeah, I think Saturday was his first assist. He hadn't scored yet. It was only his 8th start. I'm going to echo what you said, because I don't want people to think that we're trying to dig him out for whatever reason. But all I'm saying is, excuse me, he come off the pitch at Plymouth, right, and the new laws of the game is you have to go out your nearest point of entry. So he had to go out on a sideline by the Plymouth fans, and then he had to walk right round behind our goal. He was 1-0 up at the time, and behind our fans, and everyone was like, "Boy, Casper the North," and he's giving a "come on," and everyone's like, "Yes, come on, what a player! What a fucking player he is! Unique! Oh yeah, he's brilliant! I'm going to post that on fucking Twitter. What a player! Unbelievable!" And I agree completely with what Kenny said. I like the look of him straight away. He's clearly a talented footballer. Very good on the ball. Love his body shape, the way he strikes the ball. He's always looking for that killer pass. There was 2 or 3 games. You need time to make your mind up about people. I'm not too sure yet. But as you said, he got better and better. However, I'm not saying he was bad. I'm saying he was good, and he got better and better as it went on. He still hadn't assisted or scored at that point, and still hadn't won a Man of the Match award for the club. I'm not saying he has to win a Man of the Match award to be a good player, but that would be my counter argument for everyone saying, "Fucking hell, he's Roy Keane and Paul Scholes' love child." What's a fucking player? Best I've seen down here for years. He hasn't been.
So you think he's shit, yeah?
I'm just saying, yes, he's been good, and that's what we want, and we're not trying to criticise him in any way. But like you said, I can see that he's going to be brilliant, and we're going to get more from him. And on Saturday, my live stream, someone accused me of not watching the games on this live stream. I'll commentate on every single pass. People have told me I actually talk too much on the live streams, and I literally comment on every pass. And I hadn't found myself until the point of Saturday where I was going to the North. On Saturday, I was just constantly saying his name. I thought he was outstanding. And for those people who were saying, "Oh, do you know what? He's been what's a player? He's the fucking next Zidane." But if you thought he played well in the first 8 games, then try and explain how well he played to me Saturday, because there isn't that level to get to if you think he's already been absolutely. Joe, Casper the North.
Do you know what it is with him, right? If he was English, he wouldn't have that much hype around him.
His name was Casper de Smith.
Yeah, we're not used to this overseas influx, so we get the same excitement when Fleming come in as well. Over excitement, we get the same thing with Denore. And I kind of agree with what you was trying to say the other day as well, because my opinion on it is Saturday, I have to say, best I've seen him play. But
He was
a lot of people going, oh, people wouldn't give him credit before. But this is people that are trying to say 2 games in, oh, he's a class player, he's a class act. How can you not see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have been all right first couple of games, but let's see. We're now at a point where we're 11 games in. You can make more of a judgment now. And people go, oh, you didn't rate him before. I'm like, we need to see. It's as if people want to be like, oh, I told you he was great, in the first couple of games. Well done. Hats off to you. You said it first. Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly that. Listen, I admire and respect these people because they want to like him. He, from what he puts on his social, seems like he loves being at the club. And we want him to be brilliant. We want to love him. We want him to be great. And as it is now, he's getting better every week. And Saturday was outstanding.
Yeah, I just think people were jumping the gun too early. And it's if they want to say, oh, I told you from straight away he was great. All right.
Live TV said he was shit.
Yeah, but one thing I'd have to say, I really took a proper good look at him Saturday, right? I thought, right, let me watch what he does. And a lot of the stuff off the ball he was doing, he was creating so much space. He'd just jump in space, give me the ball. And he'd be the first one there, pick it up so calm, and then he takes his time, looks for something, and he was immense on Saturday. And I'm not saying he weren't before, he's just gradually got better and better.
Yeah, no, he's been playing well, but he hadn't been playing well enough that anyone that voted on the Twitter feed to make him man of the match for any games, that he had been man of the match for any game. So, do you know what I mean? But he's been good, and he should have taken time. That's absolutely fine. But now he's getting to a really good level. If he plays like he did every week, like he did last Saturday, I will get to the level that everyone else has been saying best we've had for years.
Yeah.
Goals and Roy Keane's love child. Charlie, he's always looking forward. Right, will soon change that. I was thinking about you the other day, thinking, what's happened to Charlie? Hope you're all right. Maybe you're like Kelly, you just cannot face going to the games at the minute until the great man, until the manager is gone. Pete, welcome back. What's your thoughts on Casper de Norre?
I think you'll get a bit carried away somehow. I don't know. No, I am serious. I know. Yeah, he's a bit of an over in midfield, a bit of a workaholic. I agree with Joe, clears things up, blah, blah, blah. But we got too many similar type players in midfield. We like Mitchell, de Norre, Saville. They're all too similar for me. He's a good player, but I wouldn't get carried away with it. Good performance Saturday. Nothing. That's why he's not been man of the match, because he ain't like been an outstanding performance for me that sticks out. But I just feel like we need this one. I'd rather see him pick the ball up and drive forward with the ball. You know, I know he's always looking for the pass and he's clearing up at the back and he finds spaces. And the other plus for him, obviously, he's asking for the ball. But I'm not going to get too carried away with the bloke at the moment. Listen, I called out Fleming at the end of last season, a long time before anyone did. People were like, and they go at me saying, what you talk about, 40 goals, 40, but his form just dipped. Yeah, and you only see a glimpse of what he was in the first 14 games of the season last year. He's nowhere near that standard. He might be getting there, but de Norre is, I think he's like too similar to what we've got already. And yeah, he's a good player, but I wouldn't get the other way back, giving him man of the match and all that. And I know I'm going to be disagreed with you, but there you go. That's the thing.
That's all, mate. But you said there, just saying I want to pick up on my other subject. You said de Norre, Mitchell, Saville, and we'll put what's his name into the mix. Campbell. I keep going to call him Johnson for some reason.
All the same.
They're all the same. Are they all the same, or are they having to play all the same due to the manager's instruction?
Right, Dan. Tell me which one of them players can drive forward with the ball, can run forward with the ball and back teams up. Like we've seen other teams, midfielders, run with the ball and back us up. Not one of them players could run from our or in the middle of the field and run towards their area with the ball. It's always passed.
It's a lot of sideways stuff, isn't it?
Always
I don't think that's the players.
The only way. No, they can pick up the ball and run into gaps, right? We've seen it with loads of other teams midfielders run into gaps and run forward with the ball. We're too reliant on the wings after time. You know, we're too reliant on that. The midfield need to run forward and back to players up.
Okay,
At least one of them.
So we're saying about the players that can do that and who could do that and why can't our players do that? Well, let's move on to this guy. He's in on loan. Alan Campbell. Okay. Now, last season, he was instrumental in getting Luton promoted into the Premier League. I think he started about 25, 30 games for him. Now, in my opinion, he's turned up to Mill Football Club and been routed because he's been absolutely dog shit. All he's done is concede free kicks. He was slightly better Saturday in the first half, but I would argue he is a player that can do exactly what you're asking, but our formation and manager's philosophy doesn't allow him to do that. Ken?
Yeah, I mean, when I heard he was coming to the team, I thought I was expecting like this rugged, hard nut centre midfield that's going to boss things, going to beat people up.
There you go.
And like you say, like push forward. I don't know, be like some sort of genuine in the midfield. And I'll be honest with you, he looks like we've got him from a Sunday League team. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything from him that makes me think, he should be starting over Saville or he should be starting over Mitchell. To be honest, genuinely, I think he's playing because he probably has to. Something to do with his loan agreement, no doubt. But he doesn't offer anything. So he is either being completely held back on his instructions, or he don't want to be there, or he's not good enough. It's one of them three. And I would say if he's helped Luton Town get to the Premiership only last season, it can't be because he's not good enough.
Yeah, he was the mainstay in that team as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. So God knows what's happening there with him.
Steve Lees, welcome back, mate. Another name I've been thinking, what's happened to Steve Lees? Where is he? I hope he's all right, but you are all right. And you just said, I can't find the comment, but I'm going to put it on the screen to make Kenny extremely happy. You said, I'll tell you a player that can do that, drive forward from the midfield. This is going off.
I know what he's going to say.
Give someone.
Go on, Ken. That's who he's going to say.
The Lender.
You're Lenny.
Honestly, just going on to Leonard, I've said probably for the last 3 years that he's one of the best players in our team. Don't get me wrong, he's absolutely smashed it as a centre back. But look, he was brought in as a box-to-box midfielder, and I would honestly back Leonard to play in any position in that team.
You said the other day, didn't you? Why don't we play Leonard in behind?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why we don't push Leonard further up the pitch. Let him be. If you're going to have Kasper as a CDM, then let Leonard be the one that drives forward.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is he'll run at defenders, he'll have a shot, he'll have a crack, and he'll also forward passes again. I mean, the amount of forward passes he does from centre back, the amount of runs forward he does from centre back.
Yeah.
If he was further up the pitch, all right, fine, he gets injured every now and then, but he's not injured now.
No.
Probably playing in defence. Put him up. Put him further up. He'll get injured, wouldn't he?
I'd back him up front. Honestly, I think he could play anywhere.
Yeah, that's not the issue I've got with him. Is his age and injuries. But like you rightly said to me, Ken, if he's fit now, fucking use him there.
No, but Dad, he's got an injury on him. Look at that goal that he created at Blackpool away when he done the overlap. Right, that's the sort of player. See, the only way you surprise teams is like when we get the ball. Straight away when we get the ball in midfield, we're looking sideways, right? There's no one to surprise the team by driving down the middle. And he might, like as Kenny said, offer us that. It'd definitely be much better than hit the Scottish bloke in midfield. Much better.
As Kenny said as well, he picks up the ball in the centre defence and wants to drive forward. We've seen him drive forward with it from.
Well, when you was talking about what midfielders drive through into the opposition half, I've watched Ryan Leonard run with the ball past our midfielders from centre back, to make an attacking run.
I think honestly, we're not digging Leonard out. It's more manager based. He gets the space and the time to do that in our back line, but obviously the midfielders. I think that's where it breaks down a lot between the midfielders and the forwards. I don't think there's any movement up I'm not accusing the strikers really, because they both work hard. If either of them are playing, Bradshaw especially, but there just seems to be no movement. And when someone does get into that midfield and look for that killer pass, I mean, Watmore did it, found Fleming with that little perfect through ball at Plymouth. Just don't feel there's enough ideas of movement further up the pitch where you can pick those passes. Do you know what I mean?
That's my good example of that, Dan, is like you say, when you drive forward through the middle and put that pass through. We just don't do enough of that.
Yeah.
We just
I've seen players try to do it before, and then all of a sudden they're looking up and they're like, right, where do I go? Because there's no option.
The thing with that is that's a formation thing, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, you've got one high left, one high right, and then say you've got Bradshaw in the middle, right? Now, very rarely do you find that the high right or the high left get in the box. So actually, you've only got one centre forward against 3 defenders. So it don't matter how much movement they do. Most of the time, they're going to be marked out, and you might have Fleming coming in to help.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is as well, like them wide men, like you say, don't get into the box enough. No. I think they're too wide, especially when we play wing backs. If they was a bit more compact, it would allow the wing backs to get on a little bit more, and it will give us a little bit more bodies in the box and in the right areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. Now,
you see the whole game Saturday, the way they cut through us, right? They started the ball, as we all know, they were messing around with it from the goalkeeper. And then the next minute, from their 2 or 3 passes, even when we put them under pressure, they got the ball up the other end to our area, right? Within about 10, 15 seconds. That was that good, because it goes to show you've got the players like in the Leeds team a couple of years ago that are comfortable on the ball. None of our players, unfortunately, I would say, is comfortable on the ball. Who? You know, or maybe Denora, but I can't. Every time I see a Millwall player on the ball, especially like a Cooper and that, I don't feel comfortable.
It scares the shit out of you, doesn't it?
That's the worst example to pick, though.
No, Cooper, or I read it even a midfielder, say someone, right? Just don't feel comfortable with them having the ball. Where we look
that's why he's playing then at the back, because a lot of these teams that we see that do play well from the back and break lines, like Leeds did against us, like Swansea, like Hull, they've got ball playing centre backs, and I think that might be Rowett's thinking behind playing at the back, is that he can actually play. You know what I mean?
Their goalkeeper, Hull's goalkeeper, looked more comfortable on the ball than any one of our players Saturday.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Very true. People asking the comments about goalkeepers and the goalkeeper, I assume means Sarkic.
I just wish we had like what's his name? The one we sold, the goalkeeper. Long, and like a Sarkic mixed in together that could do both things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The ball and save the ball.
That whole keeper we used to have as well years ago, didn't we? Ryan Allsop.
Did we?
Ryan Allsop.
Yeah. We signed him from
shut up.
Birmingham or Bournemouth years ago when he was like 20.
That was Ryan Allsop.
That was Ryan Allsop. Yeah, he used to play for us.
He was right. He's a good fucking player on the ball. Maybe he could play centre mid for us.
Signed at West Brom, Kieran said.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Ryan, my God, what a keeper!
Yeah.
We got rid of him. He went right down the pecking order, different clubs, different leagues, and then he seemed to work his way back up.
He's class keeper. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was so comfortable on the ball. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he was. Very, very true. Right, so we're going through the signings, Pete. I think he was out of the game for a bit that we just showed. We're going through all the signings, obviously, and talking about how we're rating them so far, their performances this season, what we think about them going forward. We've done, I can nearly call him Johnson again. We've done Campbell and we've done Denor. Let's talk next. We are going to get on to goalkeepers and the whole goalkeeping situation in general, but let's talk next about our first signing. This one was before pre-season, and even the transfer window was open. Kevin Nisbet. I like Kevin Nisbet, especially now since his mum had a go at me at Middlesbrough away. I said, don't pick my boy out. I don't know if she must have watched the wrong show, but I was like, oh, sorry, Mrs. Nisbet. I'm really sorry, even though I didn't say anything bad about him. Kevin Nisbet. He's currently injured again. He's out of the Scotland squad for their game against, did anyone know? Was it Brazil? He's someone half decent anyway. Kevin Nisbet. What are our thoughts on him, Joseph?
Jury's out for me at the minute. I feel like he's. Listen, he definitely failed that medical back in January. I think that there's something not quite right there with him still. I think he can be very injury prone. Good at free kicks. We see it Birmingham away. But he hasn't really done too much yet. But I wouldn't blame him for that. I think he's one of them. You've got him and Bradshaw, I think, are actually like very different players. Bradshaw will do more. This is why I think them two should play together more often. Have that two up top, especially at home, if they're both fit. I think he'll work better if we try to play through the middle. But we keep going wide.
He can turn and drive at defences. I've seen him do that.
Yeah, if you see some of his goals he was scoring for Hibs, a lot of them were played through the middle and he'd make that run and get behind the defender. But I don't blame him. I think we're just not playing to his strengths.
I agree. I think the jury's out, but not for him not being a great striker.
Exactly.
The way we played for one, and what Jamie Choker said as well, I'm worried. I mean, I'm not. This is now. Is this his third injury already since he's been at the club? I'm pretty sure it is. Ken, what are you thinking on this bit?
I think I'm going to upset Pete here because I know Pete likes him, but I think it was probably one of the worst signings by the club. It's not that I think he's a bad player. I just don't understand how us as a team would sign somebody that had already had an injury, weren't too sure what was going on with that injury. And you know, the problem is, well, as we all know, I don't know about you lot, I definitely know after 2 operations on my knee, everything else goes wrong afterwards. You know, so you know, I'm not surprised that he's gone down at training when he was at the Den. I'm not surprised that he has gone off a few times. I'm not surprised he's not playing now. One of our biggest problems right now is that we do not have a solid number 9 at our club. And I don't think Nisbet's the answer, and I don't think Bradshaw's the answer. And so you sort of flitter between them. Anyway, on to Nisbet. He will score goals in the Championship, but he'll probably only play half the games, in my opinion.
Exactly what you just said there, Ken. I thought exactly the same thing. He's out of Scotland squad, and I think he's been playing, and credit to him, I don't think he's fit. And as he's the only striker, because Bradshaw was out, I think they've been saying, look, if we inject it, I'm not saying I know anything, I don't. Just looking from the outside, looking in. I think maybe he's not been fit. He's been asked to play, or he's offered to play. And like you said, I think now because he's got one injury, your body starts you start moving differently, or your body starts relying on other muscles more. And I think, I personally think, as I said, I don't know anything concrete, get that disclaimer out there, that's what's now caused this latest injury, is that he was playing with another injury. But I think he looks really good in front of goal. And Bradshaw doesn't win many headers, and I know that neither of those players are that type of player. But Nisbet doesn't win any headers. He's very skillful on the ball. Yeah. But again, I think if he doesn't succeed at Mill, I don't think it's because he's not a good striker that can't score goals. I just think it's because we won't play to his strengths. Pete, Kevin Nisbet.
Right, Kevin. Well, you could put any striker in the world in our team, right? If you don't create chances for them, they're not going to score goals. And I don't care what number 9 it is. He's been feeding off scraps, right? Feeding off absolute scraps from our team. They create nothing going forward. They create nothing getting down the wings. They don't get the balls across the box to him, right? And it's all down to the formation of the team, the way the team play for midfield. He's a striker. He's meant to be in the box. They're meant to feed to him, make chances for him. And let me tell you now, if he was in the other decent team like a Leeds team or a attack-minded team that went forward with the ball, got the ball in the box, he'd be on 10 goals by now. It's just he ain't got no chances.
My argument isn't on his ability. It's not on his ability. It's on his ability to stay fit.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with that. But also, you still got to, as regard getting goals and getting his movement and all that. Let me tell you now. In my opinion, once he gets going, if we as a team get going and get forward and get that ball in that box, I know he's had a couple of snap chances, but let me tell you now, he will put them away, and he'll be more of a goal scorer. But the thing with Tom Bradshaw, he works his socks off. He's really, really hard working. But Nisbet will be a natural goal scorer. He gets got and he'll score. Just ain't getting the chances. Simple as that.
I would say that Bradshaw scores more than Nisbet this season, in my opinion.
I think Bradshaw will score more than Nisbet this season.
Bradshaw will stay fit along.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is going off topic a bit, but if you look at us last season, it was the most successful strike partnership we've had since Gregory and Morrison in League One. I think between them, they scored something like 33 goals, Fleming and Bradshaw. And then Nisbet's come in. There's only one shirt up for grabs. He started ahead of Bradshaw, which, as much as I think he's a good player in Nisbet, I still think you go with what's tried and tested. But I agree with Pete. I think if Nisbet could stay fit and he was in a Leeds or similar side of Leicester, I think you score fucking hatfuls of goals. I feel for every centre forward that plays for us. Lee Gregory used to do it, fucking chasing Chris Packett's down a windy alley. That's a Sean Williams.
That's what they want him to do, Dan, but he can't do. You can't expect him to do that. He keeps coming out to the wing.
If you're a kid and you grow up scoring like hundreds of goals, and then, I mean, Nisbet's scored goals wherever he's been. I know it's always been Scotland, but he scored a fucking lot of goals in Scotland, not just one or two. And then you've got to come here and you're not getting any. Hang on, I'm a centre forward. I thrive off scoring goals. My confidence relies on converting chances, and you're not getting any chances. It must be so frustrating that you can't do what you've been paid to do. It's basically like saying to someone, go and do that roof, but we ain't going to give you no tools. You've got to use your hands. You'd be like,
that's right.
Give me what I need. I'll produce the goods. You know what I mean?
It's not like he's missed any major chances, has he?
No.
He just simply ain't getting the chances.
He missed a cup opening day against Middlesbrough, but one good play from the keeper. Yeah. But, you know, he was getting in the right areas. And Steve Morrison once said about when he was manager of Cardiff, about a Cardiff player, you striker missed a couple of chances. And he said, I'm not fussed about them missing the chances. When they're not getting in the positions to miss the chances, that's when I'm fucking worried. Because the confidence, I would say being a striker is the biggest confidence position in football.
Bradshaw's just come on for Wales, second half.
Oh, they got a friendly against someone shit, haven't they?
Yeah, they're beating Gibraltar 4-0.
No. All right, that's for Gibraltar, right?
There's an old saying Man City's player used to have: feed the goat and he will score. Yeah? Feed the goat and he will score.
Sean Goater, yeah.
Yeah, he's not being fed in this bit. He's not being fed.
But isn't this half our problem, though, Pete? Like, we've been saying this for, nearly 4 years now. If we fed our strikers, they would score. If only he got the service that he needed, we'd be scoring more goals. It's something that we've been saying since Rowett turned up here, isn't it?
Bradshaw done it last season, though, didn't he? Suddenly, out of nowhere, didn't start off well, but started to get the service.
I do agree. I agree with you. Like, if Nisbet's like reaction, you know, there's a goal that he scored. It was a simple one, but it popped down at his feet. He side-footed it into the bottom corner at home. I can't remember who it was against. But that's like a striker's finish, right? And I do agree with you. I'd rather have Nisbet there in that situation than what I would Bradshaw. But actual service, if we look at the majority of our goals, other than maybe Zian Fleming clotheslining a defender and passing it to Travel, you know, a lot of our goals haven't been feed. You know, Duncan Mockmore stuck a couple through for Bradshaw or whoever. But not many of our goals have we fed the striker.
Yeah. It is a point as well, right? On these subjects of Bradshaw and Nisbet. Bradshaw was brilliant for us last season. Love him. I think Nisbet is more of a rounded striker, but when they've both been fit and both been on the pitch at the same time, he takes Nisbet off every time and leaves Bradshaw on because he's probably not thinking, I'll keep Nisbet on for maybe more of a goal threat if the chance comes. I'll leave Bradshaw on because he'll run more and he'll run corner flags.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they both have different strengths, I think, don't they?
Oh, yeah. But do they work together, though, boys? Sorry, just before that. Stephen Ball, thank you, mate, for your kind and ongoing contribution to the channel. Super chats are open. You can donate to the channel via the comments section. Let's have that chat then. Bradshaw and Nisbet. Do we feel they work together, boys?
I think they will. I could see, can't remember what game was, but I could see them, and they was looking out for each other, making different runs in different places. I think it's early, very, very early doors, but I really think, I know they're very similar type players as well, I know years ago we had the tall one and the small one. They're very similar, but I really do think that they could be like the West Ham thing, but like Tony Conte, McAvenny sort of combination. I really could.
So let us know in the comments as well, if everyone watching, just a simple yes or no. Will Nisbet and Bradshaw, will that combination work if they play together, yes or no?
I don't think it would. I think if you looked at it, if they played as a two, if you said what type of player would you have next to Bradshaw, and I know Pete's just sprung on this and said about it, we don't do this anymore, but for Bradshaw, you'd go, right, you need some big, ugly, striker that can knock the ball onto him, blah, blah, blah. But when you look at Nisbet, what type of player could play alongside Nisbet? What would benefit him? And how do we actually best feed him, as you say? Like, is it balls into the box? Is it balls into the box and laid back to him? Yeah, no. But what is it that where we can get the best out of Nisbet? And I don't know the answer to that. Whereas with Bradshaw, you know that he's going to be running into the box. He's going to chase every last calls. And you could work something out if you had like a big, ugly fucker up front with him, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a great comment from Evan Pollock. I said, could Bradshaw and Nisbet work as a partnership? Evan Pollock says, yes, without Rowett. It's a fair point. I'm not saying
I
it's right
reckon
or
they
wrong.
could if they had more time. How many games have we seen it this season? Only a handful where they did start both of them. I feel like if they both had a long run together, got to know each other's game, I reckon it could. Because look, Bradshaw and Afobe worked, didn't they? And Afobe weren't necessarily the big guy, and the two of them together struck up a partnership. And
very true.
It couldn't over time.
Yeah, just to defend Rowett a little bit, he did actually try to sign Kiefer Moore, and that fell through as Bournemouth were buying a player, and that fell through, so then Moore couldn't actually leave the club. So I can sympathise in a way. Right, I told you it could be a long one tonight, boys. We're fucking an hour in nearly. Right, we're looking at signings. We've done Denor, we've done Nisbet, we've done Campbell, and we've done, that's it. Right, let's move on to it then. Let's move on to the fucking goalkeeper situation. Okay, we signed so many goalkeepers in pre-season. It's a joke. We signed that two youth team keepers or under 23s. One of them's called Ethan, the American guy. I don't know how he's getting on. Ryan Sanford finally left the club, but his reincarnation is currently called Connell Truman. George Long started. There was definitely an argument there because he was actively seeking another club on his own. Must not have an agent. Left and went to Norwich. We tried to get in Travers, didn't get him. Oh, yeah. And then we signed Maciej Sarkic. People going, what's a keeper? The only problem you've got with Sarkic is he's injury prone. And fuck me, don't we know it? We paid £1.2 million for a goalkeeper that's now injured for 3 months. Got injured in the build-up to the Birmingham game. Not even in the Birmingham game. That's probably why he slow off his line to wipe out one of their players for the penalty, which fair play saved. And now Bart's back in goal. Connell Truman, as I said, he's the new Ryan Sanford. He must not have a pair of gloves or something because he won't get a look in, which begs the point, why do you fucking bother having him at the club? And Bart's back in goal. So we're already on. I'm sure we've started 3 different goalkeepers this season in 11 games. I'm not sure I'm having this geezer, honestly. Just injuries. I see Charlie said a minute ago, he looks like a kid in goal. He's not very big. We never had a goal. We haven't had a goalkeeper for years like Tony Wall or David Fall, like a big fucking lump, like a right presence between the sticks. His kicking doesn't seem great, and he worries me. I think a couple of goals he could have fucking done a bit better with. Maybe he needs time, but he's not going to get that time to get games under his belt while he's walking around in a fucking plaster boot, is he? Boys, Sarkic, talk to me.
I don't think he's all good. What we've seen of him so far, he doesn't command his area. He's very nervous, maybe because it's a new club and a new start. But to me, he's a nervous wreck. Do you remember we weren't even coming for the ball, or when he did, he was punching it wrong, and he was just making all the wrong
at it from corners, wasn't he?
Yeah, he flap in, and he made another player that makes me nervous, But yeah, no, he's had a bad start. Put it that way.
He's from Montenegro. I don't know how close that is to Transylvania, but he's caught it off that. Definitely doesn't like crosses, does he?
He's from Grimsby.
He's from Grimsby, Dan.
Have you heard him speak though? He sounds like he'd been to Oxford or something. He's like, oh, yeah.
He said this in the last live stream.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's only because his mum and dad's from there. He's born in England.
Yeah. Well, he's currently injured. He's neither on international duty as well with an injury, which Birmingham fans and Stoke fans both said, yeah, good keeper, but he's injury prone.
How many keepers do you get that are actually injury prone? Seriously. It would be us that ends up with one.
I mean, it is a high-risk position. I get that going at people's feet. I've done it before, don't dislocate my fingers and things like that. But yeah, to injure yourself in the build-up to the fucking Birmingham game. I don't know what
come on. Something right there.
Nah. What do you think of him, Joe?
Honestly, no comment really. I don't know what to say about him. Even the games he did start in, I wouldn't say. I'm not going to say, oh, he was terrible. Like, didn't make like any major mistakes, but didn't set the world alight for me. And now out for 3 months, you just think, what the hell? What's going on here? So, I don't know what to say about him, to be honest. It's a really random one.
I don't know. I don't think we've really seen enough of him to say no, he shouldn't be our number one.
Yeah.
I think what you have to look at is what else you've got and go, right, well, we've got, like you say, that Connell Truman, who is just another Ryan Sanford. He's there to make the teas. And then you've got Bart. I love Bart. I really do. But I just don't think he's good enough for the Championship. And then you've got Sarkic that played, a few games for us and made a couple of mistakes, made a couple of good saves.
He made a really good save. I just remember it was like late on in one game.
Yeah.
Stoke? No, it wasn't Stoke. He palmed one out right towards the end of one game. He's 1-0 up.
But I would say that it's probably the same sort of thing as George Long. Is that he's the best that we've got at the moment, in my opinion. So I'd say he's better than Connell Truman because he's the unknown and a young kid. And I'd say he's a better goalkeeper than Bart, in my opinion. So you then have to go with it, don't you?
Yeah.
But I love Bart. I'd love Bart to just get in a time machine and just go back 5 years and just come back to us. Do you know what I mean? It's almost heartbreaking to watch him sometimes.
He's been someone. It was against Stoke that saved the Sarkic, mate. On Sarkic, look, we've signed him for a lot of money. He's clearly got good pedigree. He's an international. Although if I had a fucking granddad that was from Montenegro, I'd probably get him. Montenegro. And he can only get better. He hasn't had a lot of games, as Kenny said, so hopefully, he'll rectify. He just doesn't. Some of the things I've seen him do, like come for crosses that are here and try and punch them. But listen, time's on his side, and it's an ambitious sign for the club. And so once he gets back fit, he stays fit and improves. With Bart, I mean, look, Bart was excellent against Plymouth. He's been excellent in a couple of other games, but he's very Millwall now, isn't he? Fucking one game really good, one game really bad. But I can suffer Bart more because he knows he's not the first choice anymore at 35 years old. He's just doing his best to the side. For anyone that says, see, you're wanting George Long go, I would rather stick a scarecrow in goal rather than George Long. Because at least the scarecrow just stands like that. George Long used to actively fucking jump out the way of footballs. Absolute peanut. Right. That's not where I pulled peanut from. Next up, the signing of, this should be quite easy for us all, shouldn't it? Joe Bryan. Pete?
Solid.
Yeah, class acts, got to say. Class acts. And one of my moments for him was when he had a go at Watmore in one of the games when he went to take a throw and Watmore run down the wing, turned his back on the ball and wasn't ready for the throw-in. And Joe Bryan ripped into him, yeah? There is a player that's comfortable on the ball, yeah? I don't feel nervous when he's running with the ball because he ain't going to do something silly with it. He's looking up. He's a good leader. He's got a lot of pedigree. And, yeah, quality player. I really like him.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he's definitely got class. Very composed and on the ball. Again, the only issue I've got could potentially be injuries. I think he's had a couple already. Ken?
I think he's the only player in our team that cannot be routed. I just think he's got that experience. He's played at a really high level. He's also played some European football, hasn't he, as well?
Well, he scored the other day, didn't he? His first goal in football, because obviously in English, because he was at France for a bit, since he scored for Fulham against Manchester United. So
there you go.
You take that.
Yeah, and that's like you can't get rid of class. And I just, like I say, I think he's the only player in our team that could not be routed.
I think that's a really good point. I think he's so experienced that if Rowett tries to raid him in, he's going to go.
Yeah.
Played in the fucking Prem. I mean, Joe?
I think he's solid. I think he's a class act, to be honest. Cool, calm, composed. He's one of them. Another example, you could actually say that when he's got the ball, he don't look panicked. You wouldn't get nervous. He's just so calm and got a great delivery on him. And I think we said in the last time, going back a few weeks now, we've done the live stream before, mentioned that he seems to be one step ahead of some of the other players in our team. And then that's you can see him getting frustrated because he'll see things or expect someone to make a run and they just don't do it. So, yeah, and you could see the way he took his goal the other day as well. He was in the box. Anyone else would maybe panic and flash at it, but he got him, turned that defender, took his time, bang. So, yeah, I think he's brilliant. And really just so he stays fit.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, we said that now about 3 of our players. Yeah. Nisbet and Sarkic, but him coming through the door, I think that's the second signing after Nisbet. I was like, fucking hell, we are having a go here.
Yeah.
He's a player, I was really excited about those 2 signings, and Sarkic. He's a player that was a little bit of an unknown one to me. Turns out he's fucking really good. Wes Harding.
Love that man.
He's 27 years old in February, so he's got time on his side. As I always say, we've got an aging back line. He seems like the ideal replacement for Sean Hutchinson to me. My question would be, and I've said this before in other streams, Gary Rowett worked with him before at Birmingham, I think, and he signed him for us. So why the fuck did he not put him in sooner after us conceding something like fucking 11 goals in 3 home games? Why is it taken to the point of Rowett potentially losing his job to bring in Harding? I mean, I'm glad sometimes there can be something good come out of bad things like those 3 results. And now he's not just standing next to the gates looking good there, look, with his shirt on. He's absolutely ripped to shreds, by the way, 6-packed up. But he's an out-and-out defender. He did the ball away a couple of times against Hull trying to play passes. Like I said, I ain't got a problem with that. People are trying to play. But he's got pace to burn, which we haven't got, and he can rectify any defensive issues, which we definitely do have. And I think he's fucking really good. And he's got to stand aside. He's a leader. He's very vocal. He's very quick, and he's on top of that, he's a great defender. Pushing some really Millwall-like tackles, and the fans love him, and I love him. There you go. So, what do you lot think about him?
I think you said it all there, Dan.
You actually love him, yeah.
Well, what I've seen of him, he's 2 games off. He started the last 2 games, has he? He hasn't he?
Like 2.5 games.
Yeah, 2.5 games. What I've seen of him, yeah, he's I like him. Solid, vocal. He's got them leadership qualities about him as well. So yeah, I'm a Harding man. I like him. Like I say, I think he's a proper Millwall player as well. Vocal. We'll give his all. Yeah, and that's all we ask for.
Yeah.
Spot on. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think that this epitomises Rowett's leadership, by the way, that the only reason why Wes Harding got a start is because he fucking had to start him.
Yes, very good point.
And also he was going around telling us that he was a right wing back. He can play in defence or mainly he plays as a right wing back, wasn't that right? When actually, let's be honest, he's an absolute out and out centre back.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Wes Harding playing right wing back?
Funny enough, I've just changed the subject slightly. I looked on Casper de Nor's Wikipedia page, I think it was yesterday, and it says midfielder or right. I'm sure it says right wing back. I think Rowett's controlling these Wikipedia pages.
When he come in, De Nor,
right wing back
about that, he could play right wing back, centre midfield.
Yeah, and I'll make you right. I think he's solid. I think if you had Hutch back fit and you had them 3 as a back three. You could then potentially push Leonard up into the midfield. But yeah, an absolute bargain. While we have there he is. He's a beautiful man as well.
You've got a new haircut on the go. It looks a little bit similar to.
You know, it's more.
This haircut for years, Dan.
I was gonna say.
Right, look.
He walked into the barbers and went, "Give me the Len dog."
Yeah, can I have the Len dog haircut? Yeah.
He's morphing into Leonard. Yeah.
Don't make me play though. Whatever you do.
Joe, you said about Howling already, haven't you?
Oh yeah, no, not yet. I love him though. I think you pretty much summed it all up in your little statement. But for someone like him to play 2.5 games and the impact he's had in those 2.5 games, never forget being at Birmingham and he come on quite late second half, wasn't it, or mid first half? Sorry.
Yeah.
When Hutch got injured.
Yeah.
And straight away, brilliant. In half a game, he was up there for a possible man of the match performance, and against Plymouth again. But after that Birmingham game, what really gets me is he's had such a great performance. Why did he not start from there?
Well,
some of them tackles he's made, especially the one at Plymouth, and he made one on Saturday. Them last-ditch tackles, absolutely immense.
But you can see that he's a very Millwall type player. That's what we thrive off. If he's just making them sort of tackles like the one he done against Plymouth, seen him do a couple of others, the crowd love it, and you can see he loves it as well. And it was just
that's what we've been missing, though. That's what we've been missing.
Yeah, the fact that know that we love that because they put pictures of him making them tackles, didn't it?
Yeah,
on their Instagram page and stuff.
When was the last time? Just like, I know it's only 11 games in or whatever, but when was the last time we actually had a red card?
Someone put a stat up about this. We haven't had a red card in a long time. Can't remember how many games.
That's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is that usually, players just going in for the calls and trying to. We almost seem to back off of things a lot now. Instead of and sometimes with the way football changes, backing off is the right thing to do. But like we don't just crunch someone. First
the first one that popped into my head was Sean Williams away at Stoke went in with a fuck off, give someone the elbow. And the tunnel was by the away fans. Everyone, Sean Williams is like that. Yeah, come on.
Well, actually, saying that, Fleming at Plymouth.
Oh, I know, yeah. It's an interesting question. Have we ever had a red card under Gary Rowett?
That's a very interesting question.
I bet Steve Lees will know.
Yeah, that's.
Have you ever had a red card under Gary Rowett? Because someone let us know.
I'm waiting for someone to give us the answer. Come on, do a bit of research and let us know.
The
show stopped. Everyone just sitting there waiting for the fucking.
Anyone? Help us out here.
Do you know what? Actually, the last red card I can remember, and that's something that I don't think that was under Rat. Can't have been, but that was Aidan O'Brien at Middlesbrough away. How long ago was that?
No, it was Wolves away.
Was it Wolves away?
I remember Aidan O'Brien at Wolves away, 2 bookings. I remember Jeb Wallace at home against someone. I remember Cooper at home against Leicester.
Yeah.
1.5 years. Yeah. Honeyman. What?
Honeyman? I don't remember.
Who's that? Oh, I forgot he was existed. George Honeyman. Red card? I can't remember. But yeah, it's a fair point. We don't get many. I mean, look, we don't want red cards, but we want fucking aggression. Sometimes that brings red cards, doesn't it? People saying Cooper. As Rowett had a red card. Well, we'll come back to that anyway because the show's fucking to a halt there. Everyone's really interested to know that answer. Right, going back to the players in.
Oh, yeah, it was. Sorry, it was George Honeyman in the Cup against Cambridge. Someone's just put it up. I remember that now.
Oh, that was second game last. What about in the league, though? What about in the league? Right, we're piling through this list. We've done Casper Denor, Kevin Nisbet, Sarkic Bryan, Wes Arlin, Alan Campbell. Next up is Ryan Longman. Ryan Longman, Mark Beard said to me, he was the one that people were least excited about, should I say, on transfer deadline day. I felt. So I just reflected on, looking at my views that I've got from the videos I put out. Even the one of George Evans and someone else leaving the club. Oh, with Volkswagen, I got more views than that. Marby says to me, he's fucking brilliant. Marby had coached him when he was in Brighton's youth team. He said he's really good with both feet, really versatile, always looking at the opposition, can whip great crosses in. And from what I've seen, I mean, again, he's been pulled fucking all over the place position-wise, hasn't he? But brilliant goal against Rotherham. Couldn't play against Hull. Didn't start against Plymouth. I really like him, boys. What are you thinking on the early? He is early, obviously, because he hasn't played loads of games.
I think that Longman falls into the same category as the Jed Wallaces, the Tyler Burys, and people like that, where Ryan Longman is an out-and-out winger.
Yeah,
and you probably won't get the best out of him at Millwall in that formation, because I think, you know, like he did the other day, he cut in, he had a shot. He can use both feet, so you can play him down the right. He could have a shot with his left, or he can cross. Actually, his crosses were pretty decent as well when he was putting crosses in. But I would say that he's an out-and-out winger. You have him bombing down the wing, delivering, or if he can cut in, have a shot.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'll get too much of that, because he'll be expected to fall back a lot.
But yeah, I agree with that. But also, he's one of these players, unlike the midfield players, that excites me, because when he gets on the ball, I get excited.
Yeah, he goes forward with intent.
Create something. He
Yeah.
gets the ball. He's not looking for a side wing pass. He's looking to run with it. He's looking to beat a player. He's looking to cross the ball in the box. If only we had two players like him, the troubles would be over, because the ball will be flying into the box, and another one is comfortable on the ball. I just look at the guy, see him get the ball, and I go, he's going to make something happen, because he's just going.
You said earlier you couldn't name anyone in our team that's comfortable on the ball.
Oh, I'm
now named him. You said Denor and Brian.
Oh, I'll let people in the comments pick me up on that one, right? But no, but he is. To be honest with you, I actually forgot all about him until you just mentioned him just then. But the times I've seen him play, which is enough, he does excite me.
Yeah.
He is a player that picks up the ball and he looks towards goal. He don't look backwards, don't look sideways, he looks forwards. And he's a good crosser, and he can cut in really well. Like you say, I think goal we got. Class player. Put him alongside Joe Bryan. Definitely. Got to start.
Sorry, in terms of ability wise, you mean, yeah. I'd definitely started signing permanently.
Have him in the we seem to be playing the sort of front three now. I'd have him. I know he's played left. Is it left wing back or right wing back? Was he playing?
He played left wing back. He started his first game against Leeds left wing back. Then he was left wing back in another game. Then they put him right side up front. I'll pick up on what Kenny said. I'll get your comments on him, Joe. Said, but it's the type of player that you look at and go, yeah, good signing, but does he seem a Rowett type player?
Yeah.
Will Rowett want to use him in his best way, in best positions? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I personally think he's been great. Right, let's have it right. I think probably one of the most underwhelming signings in the transfer window. I thought, who the hell's this guy? Like, he obviously can't get into goals.
Yeah. Who is he?
Why are we signing a player from Hull that can't get in their team? They're not going to let him have us if he's any good. And pretty much exactly what my dad said. When he picks up the ball, he's got that intent. He's forward thinking. He's got that turn of pace. He can beat a player. Good delivery. And you see his goal against Rotherham as well, cutting in. He seems like he's got quite a lot about him that I like.
Yeah,
that's why I'm here, boys. The last straight race. So that was Sean Williams against Stoke, 11th of Jan, 2020.
Someone just
said 4 years
further up, 2021.
What was that?
Said 2 bookings in a 2-1 defeat to Coventry City.
Yeah, straight red.
Oh, straight red. Sorry.
Yeah. That's fucking. It's been a while, hasn't it?
That's nearly 4 years. Come January, isn't it?
Before we move on to
getting the bets on Saturday.
We're due one, isn't we?
You do well Saturday, you get said. There was no game.
Oh yeah. That's how out of touch I am.
Just hang on 1 second, Scott. Oh, sorry, had to mute my mic there for a second. There's a fucking duck under my desk. Don't smell like a duck, Jesus. Right. Just quickly, Ryan Longman was saying, what's his best position? Does he seem like a good player? Yes, but does he seem like the type of player that Rowett would sign and use in the right way? just reminded me of Callum Styles. Did anyone see the goal Callum Styles scored for fucking Barnsley the other week?
No.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. It was outrageous. It was out on the corner, like in line with the corner flag, but right along the touchline, near the halfway line. And I think the keeper was at his goal, but the keeper had kicked it. And Callum Styles just hit it first time, almost on the volley. Fucking looped about 40 yards in the corner. Fucking great goal. And he was one that we didn't, we couldn't work out where's his best position. Should he be in one of the front three, a left wing back?
I would love to have him in
This is the same as
Midfield.
This is the same as Campbell, though, isn't it? When you look at people like Campbell, you go, fucking yeah, if Campbell played in the same position as what he did against Luton and played the same way as what he did when he played for Luton, we'd have a fantastic Alan Campbell. And and the same as we'll probably get onto him in a minute of coffee, but
he's next up, funny enough. Good shout.
Yeah, they don't. They get brought in and then they have to play the Rowett way.
Someone made a very good point, and I think it might have been Steve Morrison. He said, the problem with Campbell is we've removed a kidney and we're trying to replace it with a fucking liver or something like that. Like we ain't using him in the right way. And that's he ain't playing the way he played at Luton. It's very, very true, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. He looks like he's in the stream almost. Evening, Brooke. Brooke Norton, Costa Coffee. I don't want to start. I don't want to start.
What the fuck has happened to him? Right, when I used to watch last season, do you remember? It did play for Coventry, didn't
Coventry, yeah.
Last season, a lot of Coventry.
The second half of the season, he played for Coventry. I think he played for someone.
Rotherham first half.
He played for both teams. He played for Rotherham first half of the season. Coventry thought he's decent, we'll have him, and then he played for Coventry the second half of the season.
Right, so, I don't know whether I think it was Coventry. Coventry got a lot of TV exposure last season. They seemed to be on Sky quite a bit or whatever, and I was watching them all the time. And you looked at this player, Norton Cuffy, and you was like, he is something special, right? He played a lot of triangle football, taking people on pace to burn. Right, super confident, great delivery. He comes to Millwall and he's fucking pony.
It's like someone sucked the brain out of his head.
Yeah.
In the first couple of games, he was getting past people, and now he runs forward. He's just he has memory loss. He fucking don't know where he is.
I've seen him like by the centre circle when teams are attacking down the left-hand side. Like, I don't know where he's at. I think he's got imbalance in his ears or something.
He's not running back, is he? He just stands there and watches it.
Yeah,
he gets caught out.
That left wing is good, by the way. Keeps getting in behind. Hang on, that's me.
He's a great attacking player, but he just does not know how to defend. And when I watched him when we went to Coventry last season, he ripped us a good one. I was very impressed with him. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, but then look at him when he come on second half against Hull. Brilliant.
Yeah,
it's like you said.
He changed the game. He was so forward thinking.
They come off the bench and they're fucking great.
The problem, like most Millwall players, right, and this is a fact, right, like most Millwall players, if they could perform the way they perform when they come off the bench, we'll have a championship winning team, mate. Because when they come up within 45 minutes or 30 minutes of cameo displays, they're out of this world. But start for 90 minutes, they're absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Right? And that goes for a load of the players. And you think, right, I'm going to get in the team and I'm going to perform. But for some reason, they don't. They've got 90 minutes. Well, Essay's disappointed me recently. He's been given chances. I think he's gone off the boil a bit.
We're going to get on to the youngsters in a minute. Aside from that.
I think players, he come on second half, he had a point to prove, right? 45 minutes, absolutely brilliant, yeah? When he starts, he won't be putting in half as much yet, but like most Millwall players, when they're given a chance, come on a sub, they're brilliant. Every one of them are brilliant when they come on.
I'll be really honest. I think that we needed a right wing back, or Rowett thought we did, because Joe Bryan's so good going forward that he almost imbalances our side because he's really good at what he does. But in the other side, we can't get forward. And it sort of does that a bit with our shape. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we got Norton Cuffy in on the back of he was an Arsenal player and he's pacey and exciting. Sign's had enough. I think he's fucking useless.
You got ghosts in your house, Dan?
I know. Tell me about it. There you go.
You know, I think he started off well his first couple games.
Yeah, it was excitement. He fell through a couple of players and he looked excited without really, still without any end product. But he looked full of beans.
Yeah. The problem with him is he'll pick up the ball going forward. I think it was particularly weren't Birmingham away his first game for us? Was it second? I'm not sure. But I remember seeing him at Birmingham, and he was great, exciting going forward, picking the ball up. He was beating players left, right, and centre. But then at the end of the day, sometimes no end product. But then on the other side of things, he was getting caught out of position so many times. They're just playing a diagonal over the top of him, and he's nowhere to be seen. So I think he's still got a bit of improvement to make. I reckon he could go on to be good for us, but yeah, it's just a bit
go for the
iffy.
season.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think you're fucking. You can't win either way with him or Danny Mac, if I'm honest. And I would have to play as much as I'd like to see him play further up the pitch. I'd have Joe Bryan left wing back because he is going to play wing backs. No point saying if he didn't play wing backs. I'd play Joe Bryan left wing back, Ryan Norman right wing back, Leonard, Cooper, and Harding, 3 centre backs for now.
That's a good
shout. If Hutch gets fit, that's what I'd play personally.
I just think
And I'll go Denor and Saville. We haven't covered Saville. I don't know what's going on there. And then probably Fleming in behind, or Fleming wide one up front, or Fleming in behind. The 2 strikers if they're fit. I haven't mentioned either of the 2 boys that I'm just about to put on the screen. I do want to talk about this because I don't think they've been given a fair crack at the whip.
No.
I think there's been plenty of opportunity to give these boys game time. I honestly think, again, with people getting overexcited, I think people, and I love them both, I think SA needs more time. I think Amaku could be definitely more effective if given a fucking run. And that chance he missed Saturday, bless him, he put on his Instagram saying, I should be burying those. Well, you shouldn't, mate, because you're not given a fucking fair crack. You're both getting thrown on, like others have in the past, Tyler Bury, like fucking Greg Wild and fucking people like that, who are getting thrown on when we're fucking up against it, in the shit, with 10 minutes to go and 2-0 down, and they're expected to perform miracles. I really like these two. I think they've got a great future at the club. For me, Amaku especially when the striker's not being fit. I said this in a video in the week. If the manager said, look, we're not going up, we're not going down, which we ain't going to do either this season. Right, I'm fairly confident of that. I'm going to play these boys. I'm going to give them fucking 10 games each. Bear with it. You wouldn't mind losing so much, would you? You go, fair enough. He's building for the future. These boys need time, and we can run with that. What do you think, boys? Do you think they've been given a fair crack? Do you think they're not ready? Do you think people are overexcited?
We got excited that first game, didn't we? Middlesbrough away. They both come on and linked up for the goal that won us the game. But I just feel like since then, Rowett hasn't used them enough. Like even in games late on, as we say, him being like quite reactive. But even at like, if we're losing a game, he'll go, right, I need, say, an injection of pace, throw him on. But why not sometimes throw him on when we're winning a game, give them a bit of time and go for it? I don't think they've been given enough of a chance since that first game, in all honesty. And you look when there has been injuries, it's like, all right, give Amaku a start up top, centre forwards, see what he can do. But he didn't want to do it. But maybe are they not ready to be starting? I don't know. But what harm is it going to do? Just give him a go.
I don't think he's into the youth, is he? I mean, that's fine. That's his choice. That's how he likes to play it. But I think he'd always go with an experienced player if he can over a youth team player.
But going back to the thing, it's the same old thing like what my dad mentioned earlier. I don't know with them two whether they did start, might not be the same player. They'll have a great impact coming off the bench, injecting a bit of pace late on when the other team's defence a bit tired. Might be why they look so good, but we don't know unless they get given a chance to start, really, do we?
I've seen this before, Ralph. Like, we'll get a couple of seasons ago, we got sort of 5 games from the end of the season, and we couldn't make the playoffs, and we couldn't go down. So you then use that opportunity to play these players. Even then, they're just introduced in bit parts or not used at all. Use that to your advantage. If we do get to the end of the season, 10 games to the end, and we are where we are now, then absolutely he's got to fucking, right, look, the season's done. We ain't going up definitely. We ain't going down definitely. So I'm going to start trying a few different things and a few different players to get them ready. To a club predominantly that can't afford to buy expensive players. So we need to try and bring the youth through. I'm going to play fucking this one, that one, that one, that one. I'm going to give them 5 games, 10 games. We might get hammered in a few of them, but the only way they'll learn, the only way we'll know if they're ready or not.
Yeah.
Ken, what do you think about this?
I think that in the long term, SA will be a far better player than Amaku. However, I think that Amaku right now could cut it in our squad. I mean, if I was the Millwall board, I'd probably be saying, look, you need to give Amaku some more minutes than what he's getting, and let's get SA out on loan. Let's sign him up to a good, decent deal, so we've got him, and let's get him on loan for a season. So, because if he's not going to get match experience here, let's give him some match experience in League One. I think he's too good for League One, but let's give him some match experience, and then see where he is at for the following season. Because right at this moment in time, all we're doing really is delaying their progression in football.
Very true. And before you know it, they're both 25. Got to be 3 kids and ain't kicked a fucking football.
Yeah, or what will happen is that we'll do a Lovelace.
Yeah.
Something like that, and we'll let them go for $1 million.
He started, didn't he? He got his first start the weekend for Rangers. The first goal.
Yeah, and then before you know it, we'll be looking at him like we do now with Eze and people like that. Going, oh, we used to have him. We never started him. Never started. In fact, Millwall didn't fancy him as players.
This geezer really don't fancy us for as YouTubers. Look. Oh dear.
Oh, it's your bedtime, young man.
Well, they never get their real name up, isn't it, eh?
Well, at least they didn't call us a CUNT. He just said, you lot talk poo. Fair enough.
I like Winnie the Pooh with the H on the end. I've not seen it like that.
How dare you,
Thanks for that, JBF.
Oh, dear.
It was probably Logan upstairs.
Yeah.
My young one's done that before. Fraser's done that. Called my string, started abusing me. And asked me why I banned him. Bastard. Boys, any other business do we want to talk about? Anyone want to talk about anything or anyone?
No.
Not that I can think of. Really.
I just think that it's Billy's gone out of flavour at the moment, isn't he? Billy Mitchell.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I think he's bought. You can't argue with an all being in the side, and there's arguments for Campbell not being in the side. But I'll be honest, right now, I'd bring Saville in.
Yeah,
that's what over what's his name?
Campbell. How Saville's not starting over Campbell? I do not know.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I just wish that we had. Do you remember when he came to his first time? Ben Marshall, that first loan period he had with us.
Yeah.
A player like that could pick up the ball, run with the ball, and get you off the bump, get your bum off the seat, and stand up, and like Longman does. That sort of player with a bit of flair.
Marshall, he was playing under Harris in a 4-4-2, wasn't he? So he could
yeah. But then going back on Amaku, I'll go the opposite to what Kenny said. I like SA, but I've got good hopes for that because I think he's very strong, powerful boy. And I think he's only going to get better and better. And I think you're going to see, with Figgy being injured now, Nisbet, we will see a lot more of Amaku, and you'll see how strong he really is. So when you play the ball into him, he's good, strong, can shield the ball. And he's very unlucky not to get the winner there Saturday. You can see the way he cut through, shielded the ball. Unlucky, but I'm excited for Amaku. I really am.
He seems like he's got the strength, but he's very aggressive as well.
Yes, love that. Love that.
He's determined to succeed. I mean, I know he's Gillingham in pre-season, but he absolutely fucking bullied their back line. And he surprised me that day because obviously he came last season, didn't he? Played the 21s for a bit, got injured. And I didn't know I thought he was like a wide winger striker, an inverted winger as they get called these days. But to see him play at Gillingham, and I know it's only Gillingham, but I'm like, fucking hell. I mean, he's a good goal at Norwich, and I just think that if Nisbet's not fit, not just for Amaku's sake, but for Nisbet's sake as well, he's now injured again. Get him rested and let fucking Amaku play.
There was that talk of him pre-season about being sent out on loan for the season, wasn't there? And then Rowett turned around and said,
No.
He's seen something in pre-season from him, which I think we all did. If you see some of his goals and the games he played in, said no, we want to keep him here. But
no, we need to keep him. Keep him 100%.
Yeah, I want to keep him, but is Rowett giving him enough time to warrant him being in? That's the thing.
Nisbet, like I say, with Nisbet, you know, he could. If he gets injured, we need someone like Maku. Otherwise, we ain't got nothing.
But this is what will happen, Pete. Nisbet will get injured, and Maku will have to play, and Maku will score 20 goals in the season for us, and everyone will go, Rowett's the mastermind of all tactics.
That's football.
Falling into the squad and got a result for him.
Yeah. Did anyone see Glass Ankle substitute on the sub bench for Burton the other night? Did he get first team? Yeah.
It makes sure these players, when they leave, they just think, even like youngsters who've had done, you think, they're going to go off and do well. I'll tell you who is, though, fucking Tanto, Azakalafe, scored a hat trick. Yeah, he scored like 5 in 3 now.
Apparently, we've got a buyback clause for him, didn't we?
We won't want to pay it, though, if it's anything over a tenner.
It was like for us, mate, and he'll be on the sub bench for 3 years.
Yeah.
But he's been in the club for years. He weren't really ever given a chance, was he?
But we always hold on to these players, so they're 23, calling them youngsters. And, mate, they're 23, like you said about it.
Alex Mitchell got given a new contract and then sent out on loan to Lincoln the next day. And then they interviewed him on Millwall TV. He was like, yeah, buzzing to sign a new contract. I really hope this is my last loan, though. He said it. Alex Mitchell's going to get a testimonial soon, and he's fucking still being classed as a youngster.
How old is he?
He's the same age as Billy Mitchell. I think he's 21, 22.
Is he? Oh, my God.
Yeah. And he's been started pre-season, didn't he? Done all right. Fucking scored at Arsenal in the pre-season friendly at their training ground, didn't he? And then just can't seem to break in and then get sent out, and then we end up getting injuries and stuff. There you go. Right, boys, it's 9:30. I've not eaten yet, and she wants to watch Big Brother, so I'm going to have to fucking put it down.
But that's you fucked.
I know. My life fucked. I'll sit there and watch Big Brother every night now for the next fucking however many weeks. But I enjoyed that. Really good. Of course, international break this week, and then Preston away is an early kick-off at 12 o'clock on the telly. So I'm not going to that. If any of you boys will be.
Contemplating it.
Well, Ken, you couldn't be any better than last year when you went. Ian Fleming hat-trick.
What, Preston? Oh, mate, what a trip that was, by the way. Honestly, it was one of the clearest roads I've ever driven on.
Yeah, Danny sitting next to you.
Danny sitting next to me.
Did someone buy you a burger?
Yeah. I had a bet on that. I can't remember who it was. Like Crystal Palace were to score, and in the 97th minute they scored. Won me like 170 quid. And then someone bought me Chris Brown. Actually, look, Chris Brown. He's in the comments. He bought me an hot dog.
He's a good man, Chris. He's done a full-time reaction for
Zian Fleming. Then we had a Zian Fleming. He's talking about. That's when I weren't watching it on my Fire Stick.
Oh, hang on. I just saw his name and just clicked it on. I was like, oh. I've got a Fire Stick. Didn't I have that? I'll have a look later.
I don't know what a Fire Stick is. I don't know.
What's a Fire Stick anyway?
I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
Here. Ain't nothing to do with me.
Right, boys. Well, let's call it a day there. Then say international break, Preston, and then we got Blackburn 3 days later. Then we got Southampton home, Watford away, Sheffield Wednesday away, and then I'll go on holiday. So maybe we'll do one on when I'm in Mexico one night. What about that? Beautiful.
Cool.
Why not? Right, yeah.
We'll put our hats on.
Hey,
tequila.
Yeah, we'll be some tequila. Don't worry about that. Right, enjoyed that, boys. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone that tuned in.
Comments, brilliant.
Great comments. Thanks for watching. And of course, please subscribe to Lions TV.
Come on, you Lions.
Come on, you Lions.